ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fairmont Private School's Historic Anaheim Campus 8th grade virtual promotion ceremony. As we begin, I offer many thanks. To our very own Miss Norma Montalongo and Miss Karen Saturday. Thank you for all of your tireless efforts to make this evening the best. We are also honored to have several special guests with us tonight, colleagues with whom we work very closely and to whom we give many thanks. From our business office, Mr. David Jackson, Chairman of the Board, and Mr. Chad Jackson, President. It is an honor to have you with us this evening. Special thanks to our marketing department for lending their time and talents and helping to create such a beautiful presentation. Of course, heartfelt thanks to all of our teachers, a talented, caring group of people who over the years have worked closely with these students and helped prepare them for this day. Thank you for all you have done to make this year an overwhelming success for our entire school, and especially for this group of 8th graders. To the parents of our 8th grade students who are leaving us tonight, thank you for all the wonderful years I have had the pleasure of sharing with you. Thank you for your trust and support. Thank you for the sports games, the award ceremonies, class projects, festivals, and presentations. You will certainly be missed. To all of our students, your accomplishments are many. Fabulous debate, your work on the yearbook, your unbelievable successes in science fair, your outstanding academic achievement matched only by the beauty of your character, exceptional scores in the American math competition, your cardboard boat building talents, and let me not forget, winning the National Pentathlon Championship as the best team in the nation just a few weeks ago. Congratulations. I couldn't be prouder of each of you for every single one of these accomplishments. As you go out into the big world of high school, we wish you only the best of everything. I know that success awaits you, and that each of you, with a little effort, will go on to help make our world a better place. As we begin tonight's ceremony, our flag salute will be led by our Associated Student Body President, Miss Bethany Cow.
Good evening, Fairmont faculty, friends, and families. Thank you for joining us this evening. Let us start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our ASB President. With tremendous spirit, grace, and leadership, she represents the best of what Fairmont can be. Speaking on behalf of our Associated Student Body, please join me in welcoming our ASB President, Bethany Cow.
Now this year was quite the whirlwind. This year we've had remote and in-person learners, but no matter, we still made memories that will last a lifetime. From the very first day, seeing my classmates through a swivel, I thought, can this really last the entire year? Despite the distance between classmates, we still had an endless amount of laughter in class from the most random moments, such as Senor telling us a story about his past, or Mr. Briner teaching and making fun of my classmates for no apparent reason. It is difficult to imagine how our school would be without these crazy moments from our teachers. This past year created a unique period in our lives. Regardless, we've still come together to appreciate ourselves, each other, our teachers, and the journey we have made along the way. One memory that has really captured the spirit of Fairmont is the Homeroom Olympics. Even though some of us were online, we still managed to have fun by dressing up and playing online games. The highlight of the boat regatta was seeing Christina turn herself around in the boat rather than turning the boat itself. Although it is terrible to admit defeat this year, I can at least brag that I've had one Homeroom Olympics win from last year in 7th grade. It is crazy to believe how far we have come and that not even a pandemic can stop us from having fun and trying our best. It is amazing to think that I've known most of you since kindergarten, and the fact that we have been together along this journey to learn life along the way. It was hard to realize that failure can sometimes be a good thing, but life may direct you towards another path. And we just have to accept it and go in that new direction. In the future, life will throw obstacles along your route to success, and we need to acknowledge in the future that it is just okay. Let's take our memories of Fairmont and use them as a guide for a promising future. Know that even though we are closing on this particular chapter, we have a new chapter opening. These memories of school are not to remember A, B, and C, but rather the emotions along the way: happiness, anger, and sometimes even sadness. Such emotions help us realize that we cannot be perfect, but we can live our lives to our greatest expectations with the people around us. All I want to say now is thank you. Thank you for making me laugh even in the darkest times. I'm so grateful to have known each and every one of you, and I cannot wait to talk about our accomplishments in the future and how we can still recall our past selves and how wild we were. Hopefully when you look back at Fairmont, looking back at your yearbook and all the pictures, you'll realize all the memories that you've made along the way and how nice it is to share with everyone. I found this quote that I found online and I would like to share it with you all. It writes, "Goodbyes are not forever, are not the end, and it means I will simply miss you all until we meet again."
Thank you, Bethany. Each year, our Community Service Award is given at promotion in recognition of the student who has spent the most time volunteering to help others. The honored recipient of our 2021 Community Service Award is Samantha Wask. Over the last several years, Samantha has demonstrated a commitment to others by volunteering through Smiles Brought to You, an organization with a mission to support Hispanic students for better academic performance. Through charity and volunteerism, Samantha has been a valuable member of this organization and has gained leadership experience that she hopes to carry on through high school and beyond. Samantha is a dedicated volunteer, and her passion for service and commitment to her community are an example to us all. Samantha, on behalf of everyone here tonight, congratulations. The David R. Jackson Citizenship Award is presented to 3 students who demonstrate exemplary character with respect to their teachers, fellow students, and school. Our first David R. Jackson Award for Citizenship goes to Austin Bonar. Since beginning his career at Fairmont, Austin has built an unshakable reputation of someone with a kind heart, a great sense of humor, and an inclusive spirit. From the basketball court to the classroom, Austin is someone we can always count on to lift others up. He is hardworking, dependable, and funny, and never shies away from a chance to give the weekly weather announcements. Austin, thank you for making our school a better place. Congratulations. Our next David R. Jackson Award for Citizenship goes to Naomi Tran. In her time at Fairmont, Naomi's presence has been widely felt. She is quick with a smile or a joke, and each of her teachers is quick to applaud her for her hard work in the classroom. She is kind and caring, quick-witted, and always ready to lend a helping hand. With a passion for civil rights and an admiration for strong women, I have no doubt that she will make an incredible difference in our world. Congratulations, Naomi. Our final David R. Jackson Award for Citizenship goes to Aiden Zhang. Aiden is, by all definitions, what we strive to be as global citizens who are empathetic, compassionate, and adventurous. Aiden is enthusiastic and possesses a love of learning that will stay with him throughout his lifetime. He is a model student, a talented athlete, a celebrated debater, and someone who brings light and joy into every room. Aiden, from the international stage to Maple Street, it has been our pleasure to have you with us here at Fairmont. Congratulations.
It is a bit surreal that I get to deliver this commencement speech to you. As a Fairmont graduate myself 30 years ago, I could not have imagined being in this position, much less that my 14-year-old daughter would be in the audience. I'm so proud of you, Emily, and all that you have done and have become that qualifies you to be numbered among our 8th grade promotees. As I wander back in my mind to the 1990 school year, I recall so many happy memories walking beneath the shade of the enormous Moreton Bay fig tree on Maple Street. I cultivated friendships over those years, learned from all of my many wonderful and talented teachers, and grew substantially from exposure to the required courses of study. Of course, there were discouraging memories as well. One such memory was competing in the speech festival, which was then our version of debate. I recall how I struggled to articulate my thoughts and speak before an audience of my peers. The audience was very gracious, but I know that my speech and my performance was one of the weakest of the festival. Of course, I didn't win, not even close. Fortunately, however, I didn't let those experiences label me or hold me back from future public speaking endeavors. Over time, after public speaking classes in college and with many dozens of opportunities to stand before large audiences, I was able to hone my skills. I now look forward to speaking publicly, an activity that nearly 77% of the population in the United States dread. Like me, you will attempt something new, and in some cases, you may fail initially, but you don't lose sight of your goal, and you will find success. According to Denzel Washington, you will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something, but embrace it because it is inevitable. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks. The year 1990 was a difficult one for me and my family. On June 27th, less than 2 weeks after my 8th grade promotion, a raging forest fire in the Cleveland National Forest, which abutted our family's 60-acre avocado ranch, nearly burned our home to the ground, almost taking me, my sisters, and Dad with it. I credit fast thinking and not sitting still with saving our lives that day. Later that year, on Thanksgiving Day, at the ripe old age of 15, I was in a dirt bike accident that nearly ended my life. I was life-flighted by helicopter to UCI Medical Center and eventually recovered from multiple traumatic injuries. Looking back on it now, that year was a watershed moment for me. In other words, a turning point in my life. I had learned and experienced much in my elementary and junior high years that created in me a firm foundation. That foundation was tested almost immediately. What I learned was that as one survives difficult experiences in life, they will strengthen and prepare him for the future. Certainly, that was the case for me. The grit and determination that came from those early post-Fairmont years has served me throughout my life. We should never wish for the trials and setbacks in life, but do recognize that as they come, which they inevitably do, they will hone, sharpen, and make us stronger. So do not fear them. The experiences and trials in your lives will lead to success, which for each of us looks different. For me, success is my 18-year marriage to my wife Amber, my 4 children who are all making their own way here at Fairmont, being asked by my father to replace him as president of Fairmont, and seeing each of you Fairmont graduates moving successfully into the next phases of your life. Please always remember that no matter how successful you become in life, be nice. Will Ferrell once said, "You will never truly be successful until you learn to get beyond yourself." Empathy and kindness are the true signs of emotional intelligence. As you move through this transition today, look around. Take it all in, as you will one day look back, as I have, and treasure these experiences, these friendships, and the lessons you learned. Thank you.
Graduates, faculty, and families, I am so proud of each and every one of you 8th graders for everything you have accomplished this year and throughout your time at Fairmont. It gives me so much joy to join with your teachers, parents, friends, and loved ones in congratulating you and wishing you success as you continue on to high school. I've had the great honor to speak at all of our Fairmont promotion ceremonies except for the 3 years when my wife and I were in Russia serving our 2 church missions. I am so glad I am here today to continue a Fairmont tradition of recognizing our legacy students and sharing some of our fond memories of your time at Fairmont. As we had to do last year at the first virtual ceremony, I will call out the grade you started at Fairmont and share your names. Please stand wherever you are if you wish. Let's start with preschool.
Victoria Assad, Julia Contreras, Brighton Kang, Roy Kapoor, Valentino Kitchen, Italy Peralta, Dylan Reifschneider, Dane Schultz, Thomas Stevens, Christina Vu, Catherine Wang, Samantha Wask,
Junior kindergarten,
Rohan Sahu,
kindergarten,
Bethany Cow, Christian Jang, Carson Liu, Daniel Rodriguez, Theg Sidhu, Winston Tai, Ryan Yu,
first grade,
Paramveer Bagri, Brian Bai, Austin Bonar, Amanda Chang, John Nielsen,
second grade,
Henry Shu,
fourth grade,
Kara Berry, Matthew Hyun, Stevan Shaw, Oscar Zhang,
fifth grade,
Iris Jing, Noel Kim, Tristan Lee, Austin Tran, Bruce Shu,
and sixth grade.
Roy Kang, Lucia Len, Tyler Liu, Bill Liu, Emma Schumann, Naomi Tran, Linda Wu, Aiden Zhang, Kevin Zhou.
Now I would like to recognize all the rest of our wonderful students who joined us in 7th and 8th grades. Please stand wherever you are if you wish.
Charles Bao, Zaira Desai, Gwari Joshi, Lauren Juarez, Chloe Kim, Connie Lee, Jack Lee, Jonathan Lee, Isabella Peretta, Ibrahim Rolf, Stanley Shi, Caitlin Trujillo, Joy Shu, Jerry Zhang, Stephen Zhang, Jerry Zhou, and J.Y. Zhou.
Let's start with the first story. Victoria Assad and Julia Contreras, together you performed at the end of the year talent show for music. Julia, you played the piano while Victoria danced ballet. Mrs. Sun said it was the cutest thing. She also said you both would help her file the class papers while blasting One Direction. That sure does sound like fun. Roy Kapoor, your first grade teacher, Mrs. Fault, has quite a story to tell about you. Her first grade class was out on morning recess on the playground. You were crouched down, running under the equipment, and miscalculated the height of it. You stood up too soon and hit your head. Blood immediately started dropping down your head and face. Mrs. Fault was a bit of a wreck as she took you to the office to get taken care of. But you were as calm as could be, no tears at all. You, of course, went to the hospital and had to get stitches. Mrs. Fault called you later that night to check on you, and you acted as if nothing had happened. Your grandma asked Mrs. Fault to please convince you to stay home the following day because you said you were fine and wanted to come to school. It took a bit of cajoling, but you finally agreed. What a tough first grade kid. Val Kitchen, Mrs. O'Hannon and I conferred on this story. You and most of the students involved in the play Deja Vu not only acted in it, but you kids wrote the whole play yourselves, which you based on the movie Groundhog Day. And you even wrote your own character, the disgruntled cafeteria worker. All of us had to agree you were absolutely hysterical, and this really showcases your talent. I will just showcase a couple more of your fellow actors who were also amazing, including Alex Wheeler, who played that boy who woke up every day and walked to school with his girlfriend, my granddaughter Riley Jackson. It was fantastic. I look forward to seeing you in the prep plays next year with your co-stars Alex and Riley, and many more, I'm sure. Samantha Wask. Your art teacher, Mrs. Gorman, said she remembers you when you were in kindergarten and how you loved art and would enter all of the contests. You won several Southern California Water is Life poster contests and the California School Bus poster contest. But then when you got into 5th grade, you said to her, "I've won enough art contests. I don't need any more trophies." Samantha, I don't think you will ever quit winning, not just trophies. Austin Boner. Mrs. Fault says she was lucky to be your 1st grade teacher. Many years later, you even invited her to your Skylander-themed 7th grade birthday party at your home. You had an inflatable slide, balloon artist, magician, video games, lots of food, and the best birthday swag bags. You were extra sweet towards her 2-year-old son at the time when you even went down the slide with him many times. You showed what a thoughtful young man you are. Thank you. Mrs. Jones, your 5th grade teacher, also remembers your friendly nature. She discovered you had an amazing talent to describe the weather like a Weather Channel news broadcaster. When you were in the 5th grade, to this day, any time she sees you, she feels the need to ask you for the forecast of the day. Mrs. Jones has your sister, Ellie, in her math class this year, and of course, one day you made a guest appearance on Zoom to give her an update on the weather for that day. It truly makes her happy every time you do that. Stefan Shaw. You were new to Fairmont in 4th grade and had a great passion for reading. You always had a book in your hand. Mrs. Sun will never forget reminding you numerous times each day to tie your shoes. To this day, she still sees you around campus with your shoes untied. I hope you do a little bit better job next year while you're at the prep. Aiden Singh. You started 6th grade as a new student in a new country. You were so quiet and a bit timid, but halfway through the year, you flipped a switch and became one of Mrs. Villegas' top students in every subject. Now, as an 8th grader, you still greet her every time you see her. She hears you are still doing well in all your classes and even joined the debate team. Everyone seems to agree Fairmont gained a gem when you came here in the 6th grade. Chloe Kim. Mrs. Gorman told me that you will be famous this summer at the Environmental Nature Center, as all their summer camp kids will be wearing a t-shirt with your art design on it because you won their big design contest. And finally, I want to talk about the 8th grade debaters. Roy Kapoor, Christina Wu, Stefan Shaw, Naomi Tran, Noel Kim, Christian Jeng, Bill Liu, Matthew Yoon, Linda Wu, Jack Lee, and Stanley Shi. You have all been Fairmont debaters for several years, and Mrs. O'Hanlon told me how impressive you were, not just as debaters, but as leaders and mentors of the whole team. She was so impressed and amazed at how you put your team's needs ahead of all your individual needs. When you all should have been practicing your debates, you instead helped the 6th and 7th graders by practicing with them and mentoring them with your expert training. Without this, I don't think we would have won so many tournaments. Thank you for being so unselfish. You're a great example of a Fairmont student. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Whether or not you are continuing on to one of Fairmont's high schools, you will always be a member of our Fairmont family. It is my sincere wish for each of you to take what you've learned from your time here and go out and make a difference in high school and your communities. And that ultimately, the education you receive at Fairmont prepares you to make a difference in our world. Please stay in touch and let us know how you're doing. Thank you and best wishes for much success in the future. God bless you all.
Our next speaker stands as an inspiration of aptitude, intelligence, and dedication. His exceptional academic prowess is matched only by his curiosity, and he has proven himself to be a scholar who thrives in a challenging environment. His accomplishments are many and include top honors in science fair, debate, and pentathlon. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our 2021 Salutatorian, Mr. Stevan Shah.
Science fair, pentathlon, debate, a series of late nights, and a lot of last-minute work. I was constantly going through a roller coaster of ever-changing emotions, from the stress and anxiety of being judged to ecstasy and joy of winning awards. But there's always been one thing that's been constant, and that's my gratitude towards my family. I can never forget my last 4 years at Fairmont, and also my first 4 years at Fairmont. They're the same. I've been here for 4 years. And whether you've been here for 12 years or 2, we've all faced the same situation. Our parents taking thousands of photos of us on the first day of school. I remember thinking, oh God, please bury me. Because I guess the 10-year-old me never realized that it got the memo that it's our parents' jobs to embarrass us. Looking back, these memories, despite how humiliating they are, and they seem to be, they're ones I now cherish. There's always been someone behind us in our lives, someone pushing us to be our best, someone making sure that we can always have the best time possible. This someone is our family. From making last-minute trips to accommodate my last-minute crazy schedule changes, to tolerating our erratic behaviors on campus, our family goes beyond and above for us. For example, in 4th grade, we had an overnight field trip to Sacramento, and that early morning, I had the biggest fuss ever. Throwing a tantrum to get in the car ride and not getting out of bed and getting dragged to the airport. My parents somehow got me onto that flight because they knew that I would enjoy that trip. Does this sound familiar for anyone in their family vacations or even school trips? We could talk about the stressful nights, studying for finals, or rushing our 5-meter timeline project on the day before it's due. Thank you, Mr. Bronner. Our parents have been a constant source of motivation and truly our #1 fan and our personal cheerleaders. Our family has stuck with us through it all, and for that I want to thank my family and every student's family for all they have done to inspire us to be the best versions of ourselves. Our parents teach us to maintain a positive attitude, to communicate with respect, and never forget who we are. So to Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, and all our Fairmont families, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because family is just not a thing, it is our everything.
Our next speaker, with exceptional talent and academic brilliance, is a true testament to the idea that the human imagination is one of the most formidable engines on earth. With conceptual understanding across disciplines and a passion to engage ideas of local and global significance, she is a critical and creative thinker who enjoys solving complex problems. She has a caring heart and always looks to support others. With accolades in math, science, debate, pentathlon, art, and more, she is able to take the tiniest of ideas and turn them into something dazzling. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our 2021 Valedictorian, Ms. Noelle Kim.
2 years ago, we as the class of 2025 stepped foot into new territory. Personally, I expected my middle school years to be nothing more than acne, exams, and a whole lot of coffee. But instead, we've been given support, guidance, and a lifelong love of learning, and we have our wonderful teachers and staff members here at Fairmont to thank for that. From slideshows and creative projects to Socratic seminars and science labs, our teachers in all of our classes have given us a unique hands-on experience, and they've sown the seeds for us to have a passion for learning and a start towards a successful future. But here at Fairmont, our teachers have made sure that our schoolwork is just the tip of the iceberg for our middle school years. The teachers and staff here have created an environment for us where we all feel safe and valued. They've been here for us before, during, and after the school day if we've ever needed help or support. They've had faith in us, And above all, they've taught us more than anything we can find in any textbook. They've taught us to strive to be our best selves. After all our lessons, we can walk away not just with information, but also with knowledge. Knowledge that our talents only matter if we back them up with hard work, that our successes only matter if we also strive to be good people, and that above all, the words we say only matter if we use our voices to speak out for what we believe in, because in the immortal words of Martin Luther King Jr., our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Through all of these lessons, Fairmont has provided a second family and a second home to all of us, and for this, we say thank you. And let's end by saying thank you for all of the great memories we've had here, from ASB elections and after-school sports, to debate tournaments at science fairs. We've been given countless opportunities beyond the classroom. From the stories our teachers told to the all-nighters we've had to pull, we'll never forget our days here at Fairmont Historic Anaheim. And from high school to college and beyond, we have a long road ahead of us, but thanks to our teachers and staff members here at Fairmont, the future is bright.
Thank you, Stefan and Noel. I know I speak for everyone here tonight as I give you our congratulations. We are all looking forward to celebrating your continued success as you move on to the Fairmont Preparatory Academy in the fall. And now, a final reflection for our wonderful students of promotion. Dear students, the experiences that you've gleaned over the last several years have changed the way you see potential and changed the way you see the world around you. I know some of these battles were hard won, and in the roller coaster of junior high, there were certainly moments where you felt like you were absolutely on top of the world, and some where you were left wondering what you did wrong. Don't worry. We all share the same sense of self-doubt sometimes. And in these moments, I think back to the old quote by John Shedd: "A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships were built for." Many of you have been here since preschool, which makes today the beginning of a maiden voyage. Today you are guiding your ship out of the harbor and into the open ocean. And as you walk from this stage today, I know many of you will find great treasure. I know this because I've seen quite a few little ships set sail over the years. And in this, I've noticed that the most successful of them share the same drive, passion, heart, and courage that you embody here today. I also know that you all share the same call to tackle those huge creative challenges, to set sail, to meet adventure out on the horizon. Before you head off, there are 3 things I hope you will take with you, stuffed away in a watertight bag. The first is momentum. In 1687, Sir Isaac Newton accidentally wrote this amazing book of life advice that was not about advice at all. It was about physics, and it contains the 2 natural laws that we all remember from Mr. Briner's class. The first one is that objects in motion tend to stay in motion, and its corollary, objects at rest tend to stay at rest. From watching so many brilliant ideas remain peacefully at rest over the last decade, I can attest to the fact that Isaac was really onto something. Because once your passions find a state of rest, it's much harder to get those things up and running again. But with the corollary, great things can happen. The great thing about nurturing your passions is that small steps, taken several days in a row, have a way of turning into very big strides. And in that, there's a kind of magic. This brings me to my second item, an appreciation of messes. Your job, as you leave this stage tonight, is to make as many messes as possible. Try, guess, take risks. Sometimes you will be successful and sometimes you won't, and that's okay. Either way, it means that if you're thinking, creating, and trying to get your ideas out there, that you are constantly grappling with the pieces of our world that we don't have just right. And that's really what it means to be a student in the best possible sense. You get to spend your days in a world that we don't totally understand just yet, and you get to decide how to make sense of it. What an incredible privilege. This brings me to the last item, faith. This is the hardest of them all, which is why I hold it for last. As you carry your adventure on, take with you a heart full of faith. Faith that your ideas are not laughable. Faith that you're getting better over time. And faith that what you believe in matters to someone. Keeping the faith, however, as your ship sails through gales and horrid storms can be daunting. So be great at believing in yourself. And when the going gets tough, let us believe in you. I promise we always will. Each of you has so much more inside of you than you realize. If you give yourself permission to follow your inspiration and your impractical dreams, then you have the power to change the world. I believe in each of you, and I know that you will go on to do great and amazing things. Thank you, and congratulations. And now, the moment has finally come. The official ending and the new beginning, the awarding of the certificates of promotion. Victoria Assad. Paramveer Bagri. Brian Bai. Charles Bao. Kara Berry. Austin Bonar. Bethany Cow. Amanda Chang. Julia Contreras. Zaira Desai. Matthew Hyun. Christian Jang. Iris Jing. Gwari Joshi. Lauren Juarez. Brighton Kang. Roy Kang. Roy Kapoor. Chloe Kim. Noel Kim. Valentino Kitchen. Connie Lee. Tristan Lee. Lucia Len. Jack Lee. Jonathan Lee. Carson Liu. Tyler Liu. Bill Liu. John Nielsen. Italy Peralta. Isabella Peretta. Ibrahim Roth. Dylan Reifschneider. Daniel Rodriguez. Rohan Sahu. Dane Schultz. Emma Schumann. Stevan Shaw. Stanley Shee. Theg Sidhu. Thomas Stevens. Winston Tai. Austin Tran. Naomi Tran. Caitlin Trujillo. Christina Vu. Catherine Wang. Linda Wu. Samantha Wask. Bruce Shu. Henry Shu. Joy Shu. Ryan Yu. Aiden Zhang. Jerry Zhang. Stephen Zhang. Oscar Zhang. Kevin Zhou. Jerry Zhou. And J.Y. Zhou. For having successfully completed the required course of study through grade 8, on this 4th day of June 2021, I now promote you to 9th grade. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the outstanding class of 2021. Congratulations.